Greetings family, this is your boy Eldad Amara. Boy, have I got another video for you today. Right, first of all I want you to like, comment, subscribe and share. Like, comment, subscribe and share. If you like and share my video, hopefully YouTube will show my video to a much wider audience. Right, how many of you have heard of smart meters? Do you actually know what smart meters are? How they operate, what they're used for? Right, we used to have gas meters, the old gas meters, and electricity meters, and you used to have someone come round and they'd read your gas or read your electricity, or you'd have an estimated bill sent to you. Okay, but now you've got these things that's called smart meters. Smart meters, right, are wireless and they operate digitally, so that saves on somebody having to come round to your home, right, and to read your gas and electricity meter. The suppliers can read your information regarding your energy externally. Right, the reason for smart meters were initially to help to save on energy, cut down costs and help with emissions. Smart meters have been rolled out across America, and they've been out in America for quite a long time. Now in Britain, with the British government, right, they're trying to encourage a lot of the consumers to take smart meters into their homes. They want it rolled out right across the country. They say by 2020 they want the whole nation, the whole of the UK, to have these smart meters. But you know what, me personally, I'm a little bit skeptical about having these smart meters. The suppliers can read your meters externally, and they can tell what rooms, for example, you're using more energy in, and what appliances you're using, right? So say you're using a kettle, yeah, they know that you're in the kitchen using a kettle. If you're in a bathroom, they know that you're in a bathroom, yeah, having a shower. If you put your gas heating on, yeah, they will know that you got your gas heating on. They have this thing called a HD1 meter, right, which when you using gas and electricity, right, it sends the readings to the HD1 box, yeah, and the HD1 box analyzes how much electricity or gas you're using and which appliances are using more energy than other appliances. And this is done in real time. This is a HD1 box. Now the thing is, suppose you got a hacker, and a hacker could get into your supplier or into your account, yeah. Suppose they can redirect your electricity or your gas, or send it to somebody else, yeah, like a friend of theirs, for example, or use the supply themselves. These smart cars you got, knowing how often you charge up these smart cars, all of this information. And how do you know that this information isn't being shared? How do you know this information by the supplier isn't being shared with another third party? Yeah, they sell the information onto someone else. You don't know that for definite. What about debts? Obviously these smart meters are there to try and save you from going into debt and to cut down on costs. But what about this? You get into debt because your smart car's been using up way too much energy. Yeah? Your television's been on almost every day for 18 hours a day. Eventually you run up such a high bill and you can't pay it. The suppliers might decide to cut off your electricity. Or what about this? You decide to change from one supplier to another because you found a cheaper supplier, right? But there's going to be a gap between when you go from one supplier to the next. Yeah? And it might be 2 weeks. You might not have any electricity or gas for those couple of weeks whilst you're changing over to another supplier. You know, another thing in terms of debts as well. How do you know that, for example, they can't control or regulate the temperature of your house externally, just as the suppliers? That they can lower or higher the temperature of, say, your heating or your hot water. Yeah? Cut off your television because you're using too much energy. Cut off your heating supply, right? Regulate how much showers you're allowed to have each day or each week. How do you know that they can't do that externally? You have no control over your supply because the supplier can control it externally. This to me would be a very big concern. A very big concern. Now, say you got a smart car, because a lot of people are now moving over to smart cars, and the government is trying to encourage people to buy these smart cars. Right? Now, you might plug this smart car into your electricity supply. Right? But how do you know that the government might then turn around and say, well, you're using up too much energy using this smart car, we're going to cut off the supply there. These suppliers might be able to target specific things in your house. Yeah? Such as your kettle. You're using too much emissions and too much energy. Or your bath. So they cut off those individual supplies, but allow you to have other things running in your home. Another thing is, in California, there's been a lot of people have been protesting over these smart meters. Yeah, they're saying that they give off ELF, right? Extremely low frequency energy. Now, a guy, for example, John Hart in California, he's a founder against the smart meters. Alright, he turned around and he said like that smart meters change the mood and behavior of people who use smart meters. I'm not saying everybody, but there's been a lot of reports that he's found, yeah, that smart meters change the mood and behavior of people, yeah, with these meters. There's some people who've had neurological chemistry changes in their body. Neurological changes in their body due to these smart meters. Also, Hood and Brannigan in California, two activists, yeah, they were successful on bringing a case to some council in California, right, on the grounds of health. They said that the smart meters were causing some residents things like sleeplessness, seizures, cancer, arrhythmia, and they were quite successful in their case. Now the thing is, in England, there's people also protesting against these smart meters, but the government are very determined to try and get people to accept these smart meters. And as I was saying, they want these smart meters rolled out by 2020. It is now 2021, right? I know that there's a lot of people that have been protesting against these smart meters because it makes them feel like they're under some kind of duress to accept these smart meters. I don't think in England it has become law yet to have these smart meters, but eventually it will become mandatory that we will all have to have these smart meters, unless a lot of us push back and say that we don't want these meters in our homes. These smart meters will become an everyday part of our lives. And it's like we'll be continually monitored about everything that we're doing within our homes. Yeah? How many times a day we're bathing, right? How many times a day we're watching the television? Who's in your home? How much times a day you're using your kettle? And you don't know, as I've said before, you don't know whether, if you get into debt, whether they can cut off your supply. Or they can see, this is the suppliers, they can see that you are using too much energy, yeah, and reduce that energy. So they reduce your heating. Government decides to cut off your computer because you've been sending fake news to somebody else, yeah, or nude pictures to somebody, or some information that they consider to be against the censorship laws, right? That they can cut off your computer from external sources so that you no longer can use your computer within your home. And I might do this for a limited time, yeah, probably for a couple of months before you can use that computer again. Or the same thing with your smart car. Cut off your smart car energy so you cannot use a car for a period of a month. You think about it. It's worthwhile considering these things that I've just said to you. So what can you do now in order to stop these smart meters? Well, for example, you can stop the suppliers coming around and not answering the door to them, right? Not answering letters that they've sent to you or emails. That's one thing that you can possibly do. You can find an alternative form of energy, yeah, such as solar powered panels or something like that. But you know, eventually, if it becomes law, you're going to have to follow the law unless there's enough of us pushing back against the law and saying that we do not want these smart meters. I've given you some things to consider, right, to ponder over. The only way that we're going to be able to stop these smart meters really is if we push back against the system. But I know eventually there's going to be some way the government will try and find to make us all start using smart meters. But I've told you some of what I thought are possible problems with these smart meters. Now it's for you to do your own research and to come to your own conclusions. If you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe and share. Eldad Amara.